You ain't been where I've been, came where I'm from. Walk a mile in my shoes, I'm not you. You ain't been where I've been, came where I'm from. Walk a mile in my shoes, I'm not you.
We from two different sides of tracks, you ain't been where I been. Made it up about the south, bitch, you ain't been where I been. You don't know half where I'm from, you ain't seen what I seen. Mom and daddy raised me right, but I've been hustling in between. Been down all my life, making plans left and right. Mom keep telling me slow down, cause I been hustling day and night. Y'all don't know what I've been through. Whipping pots in the kitchen, breaking bricks to feed my kitchen, big bills. I've been on a mission, y'all swear, y'all know the room, but I'ma tell you one thing. I'm not like them other bitches, I'm a real trap queen. Gotta give out any means, nothing less. Ain't no stopping, gotta get it how I leave it. I'm all about the business, I goes hard for mine. Steady rocking to the top, I'm keep dropping till I pop. Good drop, no flip flop. Chocolate drop is what they call me, Miss Chocolate to you bitches. I'm on the fucking mission, pressing out the fucking issues.
Been where I've been, came where I'm from. Walk a mile in my shoes, I'm not you. You ain't been where I've been, came where I'm from. Walk a mile in my shoes, I'm not you.
I pay anybody talk that talk and walk about in my shoes. You can't put two in one. I've been a real boss too. Bitch, my job is never done. You can't do what I do. Breaking down from the gate. Real investors been your state. I don't know nothing about a break. Gotta keep things out my way. Eat this shit up like souffle. Bitch, you know I'm nothing to play. I'm running bases up the way. I'm running hard rock play. This some Southside shit. I'm trying to get how I live it on some real box shit. DJs on this bitch trying to live in luxury in the city of hate. I don't fuck with nutty steaks. What my girl Monica say?
Tell the real from the
Read you bitches from a mile away. Red light, stay hot, straight functioning through this bitch. My babies know the real me and they know what I've been through. Everything they say I couldn't do, I'm living out my dreams. So don't get it twisted, baby, cause you swear
You ain't been where I've been, came where I'm from. Walk a mile in my shoes, I'm not you. You ain't been where I've been, came where I'm from. Walk a mile in my shoes, I'm not you.
That ain't my baby. You thought I was slipping, but this pimping, that ain't my baby. We slid in them covers, I threw on that rubber, that ain't my baby. No, pull out game way too strong. What do you take me for? You think I'm crazy, but that ain't my bitch. Just for Julia, I had to know ya. I'm glad I didn't waste no time. I had to figure out what you like. Be much like you taking me home tonight. Showing out in that under outfit, looking all bad, looking real thick. Got you twirling those curls, really want it. Come and let me give it to you. Take you good on the phone, nice, but I'm too focused. I'm the side nigga and I know it. Like you texting me, you're pretty and they be joking. So if it's my baby, I'll take care of that. Women run the game and I'm aware of that. I know I put you good on that night. You're gonna fuck up my life. That ain't my baby. You thought I was slipping, but this pimping, that ain't my baby. We slid in them covers, I threw on that rubber, that ain't my baby. No, pull out game way too strong. What do you take me for? You think I'm crazy, but that ain't my baby.
It was just some late night sex, tryna be a lifetime stress.
strapped with the latex. I think I need a DNA test. You was just a late night sex. Tryna be a lifetime stress. Strapped up with the latex. I just got my DNA test, girl. That ain't my baby. You thought I was slipping, but this pimping, that ain't my baby. But we slid in them covers, I threw on that rubber. That ain't my baby. No. Like we're too strong. What do you take me for? You think I'm crazy, but that ain't my baby.
What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good, everybody? What's good? What's good with it? We are live right now. We got the early morning edition. Let me get my camera right. The sun is beaming out here. What's up, everybody? It's your man KB, and this is Easy on the Eyes podcast. What is popping? What is popping on this pretty ass day? It's 8 o'clock in the morning. It's already 77 degrees right here where I'm at. So figure that. We coming to you special today, special time. We got your breakfast fix for you. So get your coffee, get your Wake and Blake bunch, spark it up, whatever you do, your tea, your breakfast, your sausage and eggs, cars, whatever it is, on your way to work, sitting at your office desk. Thanks for chiming in. I got my man Jay Will in the building with us, and we're going to talk this sports talk this morning. There's a lot of bullshit going on, man. I got a question for real. Is racism dividing the sports community? Now, I know we was bred to be the gladiators, to be the entertainment. You know what I'm saying? But like right now with what's going on in the world, and I'm going to talk my shit. From the Colin Kaepernick, and now with Angel Reese, and what's going on. So that's just one of the topics that we're going to touch on when I pull Jay up in a second. And what do you think about the First Lady wanting to invite Iowa as well as LSU to the White House? That sounds like some participation trophy shit to me. But anyway, got my man 25 and up in the background. That ain't my baby. Get your That Ain't My Baby condoms. Follow him. That's 25 and up. 25 and up right out of Oklahoma City, Oklahoma. And then I'm going to bring my guy, Jay Will. What's good? What's good with it, my nigga?
Man, always good on this Tuesday morning. Terrific Tuesday. Everybody, we're here to talk sports talk with the craziness going on in the world. We had the Final Four over the weekend. Not the Final Four of the championship over the weekend. We had controversy as always. Controversy, mishaps. It started all the way back against Don, actually. In that South Carolina game, the disrespect and all the things that go along. And like you said, racism is here. I don't see it going anywhere because many aspect of life, the world that they created, they made this world the way it is because they wanted to be at the top. They created it that way, and to push us at the bottom. But some of us are becoming critical thinkers and becoming wise, and we're starting to see through all the red tape and starting to see that all the falsities that they have presented to us are unreal, untrue, and they're trying to hold on to that. And because they're trying to hold on to that, a lot of people don't read. A lot of people don't investigate, so they feel safe. But these people with great minds and intelligent people are starting to say, hell no, we're not taking it anymore.
Right. So it was hold on, I gotta get my echo out of the back. It was a great game. Of course, the Baltimore native, she prospered. And the taunt, that's what everybody's talking about for the last 2 days. The taunt. How do you feel about that taunt, what she did?
I think that it was fair play. She did it against Louisville the other day, and when she did it, John Cena gave her a shout out. They were like, the announcer said she didn't know what it was. And the simple fact that a black person did it to her, they pubbed her up as to be the greatest thing since sliced bread. She's a Steph Curry of basketball. She's this and she's that. Needless to say, when they were playing South Carolina and Raven Johnson was at the three-point line, she actually was inside the paint and did like this to Raven Johnson, which to me, you think that's sportsmanship? No, it's not. And Don Staley, after they lost, when you think about it, Caitlin Clark pushes off all the time. And you saw they called it again in the LSU game. She did it in the South Carolina game as well, but wasn't called for it. After the game, a question was asked to Don Staley. Hey, Don Staley, I know that other people call this team bullies. And she said, hold up. We're not bullies. We're not bullies. We're not monkeys. We're not whatever you want to call us. We're basketball players. And just because my basketball players play aggressive, and I was born in South Philly in the projects, and that's how I teach my kids to play, they're great student athletes. I hear you guys talking about our players and all this other stuff. So race has been imminent. Don Staley talked about it after they lost to Iowa, and you saw it come full circle against LSU. Literally, yo, you saw that Keith Olbermann called her a fucking idiot. What has been done to him? But if a black person says something like that about a white person, they're banned. Sponsorships is taken from them. How can a man talk about a 20-year-old kid and call her a fucking idiot?
Right.
And it's acceptable.
I have his actual quote. I gotta get it because I wanted to pull it up. He called her an idiot. He called her an idiot. And this is my thing. This is my thing with that. You know, he said what he said. I want to know if there's going to be any repercussion. If it was a black person that called an idiot, they'd have had to go on an apologizing spree. You know, they'd have had to donate to the Cancer Society and the Mental Health Illness Fund. You know, and that all of these things would have came out of the woodwork from all these people being affected, but from how he disrespected her, right? So my thing is, it's fair game. Talk on the court is talk on the court. Like even Caitlin waving off the girl at the 3-point line, the young lady at the 3-point line. That's us on the court saying, "Oh, he ain't got that. Shoot that. I want you to take that." Basically, that's what he's doing. Yeah, hey, take that. Hold up. But the NBA did it. The San Antonio Spurs did it to LeBron James, and he had to knock that shot down. So what's that? They clearly stepped back. Was like, we're gonna get him this little 17, 18-foot jumper, right? You remember they did that a couple years ago?
Yeah.
Right.
I agree with you. I agree with you 100%. I was just only bringing up I was only setting the mode, you know. I don't
right.
At all.
Right.
So if you can't shoot the jump shot, that's what I would do as well. He can't shoot. So
right.
It is what it is.
So the trash talk and the talk is on the court. You know what I mean? Leave it on the court. It wasn't no blows thrown or anything like that. It wasn't no name calling or anything like that. She basically mimicked what you do. That's like, that's the same thing. That's like, you know, when LeBron do that pump down, when he pumped the floor, when he doing that. And if I bang the shot, I hit the game-winning shot, and I pump the floor and bang my chest. Now I'm the GOAT. Okay, all right, well, whatever. You did that. You know, that ain't running to the Dallas Star and slamming the football or you understand what I'm saying? Like, even though I ain't see nothing wrong, I'm like, man, if you don't like, stop them.
Yeah.
You know? So, but that aspect, and what get me is I listen to what everybody say. I listen to the callers, the locals, and when you look at it, the Caucasian people are upset at what she did. The black people are like, man, kudos, whatever. Right? They want to say how it's not classy and all and everything like that. No. And it rubs me the wrong way because that's the same way I felt about the Kaepernick situation. The reason why I don't watch football today, the NFL today, is because I don't like it, and I won't go to the game because I hear what people were saying about Kaepernick, about what he did, whether they agree with him taking the knee whatsoever. I hear what the other folk are saying, right? And my thing was, y'all mad that he took the knee, but nobody's upset about I'm more upset about the lack of empathy of what he's talking about, the stance that he's took and what he's talking about, which affects my community, which affects us. Pretty much it's them saying, no, fuck what he talking about. We don't like that he disrespect the flag, so fuck what he talking about. Basically.
Yeah, the thing is, it's always about control, yo. It's always about control. And
right?
Because they couldn't control him, they banned him. And that's what everything I like. And that's what they do with everybody that want to oppose the system, want to tear the system down. They want to control. And that's on every level, you know. And even down to the Lamar Jackson situation, you know, because he doesn't have an agent, they're not going to offer him a contract. Nowhere in the world have you ever seen a 26-year-old former MVP, a quarterback that can change the direction of your organization, not be offered any kind of deal. It's because they know they're trying to protect the agents, so they're not going to offer him anything until he gets an agent. If he had an agent, he would have had a deal. He'd have got traded or who knows what. The agents want 3 to 5 to 7 to 8%. They want to continue to get that. They ciphering money from these guys. You don't need an agent. All you need is a lawyer to look at the contract. So in actuality, I should say, fuck them agents and go get another job, because in every organization, it's saturated with a bunch of white people that's getting something for nothing. In every aspect of the world, that's what it is. Always trying to get over. We got to work hard for stuff, but these white people are always taking the easy route out, and that's what the business is. Because the owners are white, the agents are white, and they taking a slave master route. You know what I mean? We pimp you to go do and make us the money. We get a kick off of what you do. We get a kick off of your blood, your sweat, and your tears. And what's ashamed about it, I'm skipping back to the women. It's been known, it's been a big thing that women basketball gets no recognition, right? Here you had a great game. You had 2 top-tier athletes going head-to-head, right? And Caitlin and Reese. A dynamic game. Nobody's talking about the game anymore. They only talking about the John Cena. That's all they talking about, right? And they want to negate the fact that she just did it last week, right? Of course.
They want to negate the fact, right? So, and when I listened to Angel talk, she said, "This is for the brotherhood. This is for us. This is where y'all called me ghetto," and I'm sitting there. I'm like, wow.
And it's all
She expressing herself.
And it's all predicated on what Don talked about when they lost to Iowa. Don talked about it. He said, "I'm talking about this whether we won or lost," and she brought it up. And it was come full circle when Angel said her comments about, "You want to call me ghetto?" And when you know what's so funny? When a white person makes a move, they call it smart. When a black person makes a move, they say, "What an athletic move." The commentating, you know, Lobo or whoever was commentating the game, when Iowa got fouled, look at it, she's all over her. But when South Carolina or LSU got fouled, she said nothing. So it's all set up, man. It's all set up. It's all set up for them. They wanted to pump her up, yo, like Larry Bird, put up on a pedestal and make her win.
So I called it the great white hype all over again. You know, they always got to have one. And by no means, I'm not a racist individual at all, but I can see what it is. You know what I mean? The writing is clearly on the wall. Some people won't understand it. You know, I can see people taking their defense to it, the situation and things like that. But even down with the Lamar Jackson and his contract signing, right? It's like, I feel in my heart that we got Lamar because we didn't get Kaepernick. All of this happened at the same time. No team wanted him, right? The Ravens, the only team that took a chance on him. It was right after Bisciotti asked their fan base, should I sign Kaepernick? And I listened to those comments. I listened to those people call and their reason for not And then when I listen to the people call today about the Caitlyn, it was like they ain't even cared if she did it or not before. They was just upset that their person lost and this person showed up and did it right there on national TV. That's all they cared about. So they want us to have empathy towards the things that affect them. But it's like, forget our empathy. Forget what we need. You know what I mean? And it's crazy. And I always ask, we find, I know they run sports. I know it's their thing. I know that they're in control. You understand what I'm saying? The powers that be. But it's like, at what point do we say, you know what? Fuck that platform. Let's do our own thing.
I mean,
we the athletes anyway.
The key to that all is us really sitting at the table and understanding that we have trillions of dollars that we spend in these other businesses and these other places that we can use for ourselves. We can take over these television networks. We can take over these stations, get these contracts, so we can have our own. And
Jay, it's 2023. We ain't got to take over a network. We can create our own.
Well, that's true.
We don't even have to we don't have to be on CBS. Why would we go on CBS if we know what CBS going to do? We know who runs CBS. We know who controls the media on CBS. We got so many platforms, so many ways to stream right now to get your things out there. We ain't got to be on their platform.
And that's a true fact, and it won't cost us as much. So that's a fact. But it's all about getting the collective to agree on something, and that's what they know, and that's why they have us trapped, because collectively we can't agree on anything. Sometimes you can't even agree on what to eat. Sometimes if you have a group of 10 people, so they know that collective will never agree on anything. So they just keep pushing the envelope. They're gonna keep pushing it. When are people gonna wake up and say no more? I mean, this right here should be an eye opener. But half of the people are not gonna speak out on it. They're gonna stay behind closed doors, not say anything. Fear, false evidence, and real. They like being accepted. Yeah, you got to be able to go against the grain. If you really stand for, if you don't stand for anything, you fall for anything. So stand up. We all know it's blatantly not fair in this whole world with everything they do. We know it. But are we going to step up and say anything? Do anything about it? Let's come together and let's make change.
Nobody wants to rub somebody the wrong way. I can't think of the actual phrase that I want to use, but nobody want to stir the pot. Nobody want to. You understand what I'm saying? And it's like even with like you said, we can't agree on anything. How many things we done boycotted or supposed to have been boycotted off of something that somebody said, and you still we can't even agree who not to fuck with. Let's just keep it a buck. As a whole, as a community, we can't even agree. We ain't gonna deal with these people. These people said this and they made this, regarding us, and it was demeaning or whatever. People still walk around with it on their back, which was the whole purpose of me starting this podcast. It was like, yo, let's promote us. Let's promote. It's so much other things out here. We don't have to go pay $1,000 for a pair of sneakers. If that's what you want to do, that's what you want to do. But it's a lot of other platforms. It's a lot of other work designs and brands out here that we should be supporting. And what made me think about that is when I moved here and I went to Tulsa, right? The energy that I felt in Tulsa, being on Black Wall Street and talking to people and asking people about Black Wall Street, right? They all said the same thing. They said, KB, it wasn't the bombing that did it sin. It was rebuilt in weeks. It was the mere fact that everybody left. Nobody came back. Where before, everybody went to that store, that grocery store. Everybody, they got all the money. You know what I mean? The money was in the community. Now our money is not in our community. We spend our money elsewhere, so we don't even give back to our community. I'm not going to say we don't, because somebody going to say, oh, he said we don't give. You know what I'm saying? Give me a percentage. We don't give back enough into our community, where we're supposed to be able to support each other all around the board. We should be able to support each other without no help. You think about it. We the inventors, we the creators, we the athletes, we the workers.
Yeah, I mean, agreed, brother. Agreed, brother. We should never be in need of anything. But the system they put in place created separation, created a system of failure, systematic failure, created debt. And that's where people fall into those traps. And they don't see a way to get out. And because they put that system in place, and whoever did it, really evil people, that because to put something in process like this, to create the world to be a world of hate, envy, jealousy, crime, corruption, it's just really hateful, you know? So a lot of people are feared, right? They scared to lose a job. They scared to lose this. They didn't work hard for this. They think they're in a process or a place of success. When in actuality, it's still being put in a position in real life slavery, though. Because
Right.
in actuality, if you're working for these people, right, and you go to, this is just a test for anybody. Pull up any company that you want to pull up. Go to any company and pull it up, and go to the people at the top. And I want you to come on here and let me know if you see mostly white people at the top, and tell me how is that even possible in this big world that we have, that all the top people in place of a company is white. Explain that.
And they all have one token Negro.
Yeah, explain that to me. You tell me that's not corruption. Explain to me how that's possible when you have intelligent people, and as my man said, KB, we invented everything. We are the creators. How is it that that's in place right now, and y'all don't see that's just corruption?
I read something this morning that the guy, the drink Jack Daniels, I'm not going to say that the black guy created Jack Daniels. He taught whoever made Jack Daniels how to distill or whatever. So they basically were saying his name should be on there, not Jack Daniels.
Of course. I mean,
right?
We go back through history, right? And it shows that it's facts that say that a painting was a black person and they changed it to a white person.
Right.
Yo, it's
Right.
It's incredible, the information, if you just take time to do the research, which you'll find. And how we always said they're scheming their way to anything. When we out this joint got to go the extra mile and work harder to get something, they're scheming, they're cheating, they doing all these things to get ahead. It's based off of greed, you know, greed, status, and all these other things that they're creating. So much so, you know, I know you heard about the situation where they were cheating to get their kids in college.
Right.
Behold, actors, models, all these other people. What are you cheating for? Your kid is not intelligent enough to get in school? Why you always got to push the envelope?
And look, and that wasn't made. I mean, they I think they got arrested or something like that, right? They pay a fine or whatever. But just in the hoods, people change the zip code and say their kids live with their grandmothers so they can get to a good public school, and they get in trouble for that. Like literally, you're gonna. I don't know if we go to jail, but I know what some consequences behind it. I don't know what the consequences is, but I know some consequences behind it. You know what I mean? And it's just crazy, man. It's just weird. I just be wanting to know, when are we going to come together? When are we going to stand together? Not on no bullshit, but when we going to stand together? Like it don't even have to be a beef. It don't even have to be whatever. However. You know, I don't want nobody thinking I'm sitting here trying to create a war between people. No, I'm saying is y'all do y'all thing, and we'll go over here and we'll do our thing.
Simple as that, y'all.
You understand what I'm saying? Because when you look at all the sports and everything, all the workers and that, the only reason that we aren't in ownership is that we don't have the capital to be in ownership. But as far as the skill set, as far as the work, we got all of that.
See,
I
think we do have the capital. I think
we just don't put it together. We don't use it and put it together.
We just won't do it. We have the capital to have our own networks, our own organizations. We had the capital to do all of that.
We got to stop.
When I say, yo, we spend $1 trillion a year, we spending all that money. So if we collectively just said no more and create our own stuff, how successful would that be? And then, you know what will happen? They'll dissolve because they'll be drained because they're not getting that 100. Because realistically, they're living off 199% and we're living off 1%. Because we're spending.
Right.
We're spending. So they're living off almost double and we're living off 1%. And we're surviving off of that. So if we take that 99% away from them, they would suffer because they wouldn't have no percentage. Because they would have to rely on their own people buying into that stuff. And they'll fail.
Right. They I don't well, yeah. I was gonna say I don't know if they'll fail, but it probably would because they don't spend like we spend. Man, I walked into a place. I was in Kentucky last week, bro. And when I walked in there to this restaurant, it was like a little deli, everybody was on their lunch break, so everybody in the town was coming into this spot, to this restaurant, right? And I just stepped back. Of course, I was the token. I was the only one in there, right? But I stepped back and I looked at everybody that walked in, how they were dressed, from the adults to the kids. And I was sitting there like, our community really puts so much emphasis on what we wear and what we put on our body. And these people ain't giving two fucks, woman. like literally, that's what I was sitting there looking like. Damn, they wore that out the house. And it hit me like, damn. They really don't, like, we put so much emphasis on looking the par, on looking like $1 million, looking like $1 million, but we want to stun on each other. That's why we can't get together. That's why we don't have our own networks and all that stuff like that. Because we rather get it and stunt and shit on each other versus get it and pull the next man up and show them, hey, this is the way to the pot of gold. This is where it's at right here. You know, which is what we supposed to do. And as men, that's what we supposed to do because we the leaders. You know, we the head. So if we not doing it, not showing it to each other, if we not standing for each other, I expect our women to create things like LGBTQ. I expect them to create those type of things. I don't think a man would create that.
Right. The thing is, right, you know, people have to have an open mind in order to receive information. See, we can have these conversations and we can have this dialogue because we are intelligent, we understand how things are, and we do research to understand that this is not the truth. You know, we brought Duncan on here, we had Steve on here, 4 black men that have the understanding and the mental capacity to receive information and give information. Everybody doesn't have that. You know, people become argumentative, they start to say this is not true, and it's kind of hard to have conversations with certain people because they are programmed to what they were taught, you know. Mm-hmm. And when you're programmed, and it's not a bad thing because that's what they set in place. And as you see how things are starting to change in the world, now they're showing 2 black men together on TV, 2 white men together on TV, a white man and a black woman on TV because they're trying to change the narrative. They was never doing that before, but now, man.
You couldn't even see.
Do the interracial thing and put it in front of everybody for the new generation to get a hold of that. Hey, new generation, do interracial, do same sex. That's what they're doing. It's dysfunction and confusion. And what they spill into the world is what they want the world to accept. And you got to think about these little kids. That's why you have all these little kids saying binary and all these other things. Where did that come from? It was programmed. We never heard of it before. And all of a sudden it's just forced in there. You look on your calendar, it's a LGBTQ day. How did that happen? Technology, they forced it on you. You see what I'm saying? And it came out of nowhere. All of a sudden, you go on your cell phone, your Samsung, your Apple, and the holidays on it. How?
Right. Shit, your thoughts on it as ass. Man, your thoughts be on it as ass. Man, it's crazy. I texted my wife a few weeks ago, right? I just texted like, hey, we're gonna go to dinner at this time on Sunday, right? Yo, my wife sent me a message back that said, look what Siri said. And the message says, probable dinner date with KB.
Right.
I said, what did you say? She said, I ain't say nothing. Like, they read the text message
Same
and
hour.
put it on that calendar for her.
Right.
So I'm like, damn, what else they listening to? Like, what else are they? Man.
Anything comes on an email, if it's an appointment or travel, anything, all that money goes right over to your account without you even saying something.
If I say hybrid Toyota Highlander, that's the vehicle I might want coming up. And when you log onto your laptop and everything like that now, and when I log on to Facebook and all that, I'm gonna have Highlanders all up and down. I'm gonna have Highlanders all up and down. I was talking to one of my designers the other day. I said I want to get into making some boxes, right? Some underwear for men. Man, I got all types of underwear popping up on my post, all on my feed, suggested to me. I said, man, this shit is crazy, man. And we used to talk about the chip. We used to talk about not getting the chip, who not going to get the chip. Like, we ain't going to get the shot. People, this is the chip right here. This is the chip. Oh, you can't even see. This is the chip right here. Your phone. It got everything, all your credit card information, your bank information, your social, everything you need, where you go, where you at, where you live, how much money you spend. All of that is right here. They don't need no chip in your skin. They don't need a chip in your neck.
Yeah, Google say the places you visited, the countries you've been. It's amazing, man. You're always being tracked. Because I told everybody it's about control. They want to control. And they say this is the land of the free. No, it's not. It's a controlled dictatorship. That's what it is.
Now this is going to be a little bit off of the sports thing. And I just want to say again, shout out to LSU women's basketball. Hey, Angel Reese for bringing it home for the women. You know, bringing it home for Baltimore St. Francis Academy. Yeah, I mean, big up this SFA. And her cousin played for Connecticut. The men, they won last night.
No. For our cousin, her brother plays for Maryland. Though.
Her brother plays for Maryland. Hold on, let me get his name.
Hawkins, right? The George
Hawkins, yes. That's his name. So shout out to Connecticut.
That's our cousin. I saw a picture of them, and they were standing next to each other. I guess I didn't know they were.
That's her.
Okay.
That's her cousin. That's her cousin. So shout out to them, right? Now I'm gonna touch base and say I wish Steven was on right now, right? Because when you think about China and Africa and all of them changing their currency over and all that good stuff like that, what do you think about that? You know that's what's happening now, right? Going on, right?
Well, I realized that they only did it because they wanted some backing from the U.S. Right? Now they know what the structure is, and they know their currency, and they know that they don't need the U.S. anymore. Why even deal with it? That's why they just said, you know what? We just want to do our own thing because they're strong now. Once you're strong, that's like with anything, man. When you feel as though you're in power, you start your mind and your decisions start to change. Right.
It's just crazy. I was watching some things. People got to really stray away from the small banks because if your money's not insured, man, we headed into a situation. So Navy Federal, Bank of America, I'm with Navy Federal, so everybody can know that. That's what I'm with. I know they ain't gonna mess with the military money. If anything, that's gonna be the last people bank that they mess with. But I'm out here in Oklahoma, bro. It's banks on every corner out here. It's all types of banks you ain't never heard of. It's so many banks out here. And I watched the representative. I guess that's how it came up on my feed. The senator, he was talking to the treasurer. You know, he was asking, do the state of Oklahoma and the small banks have something to worry about? Now, I know why so many banks, the farming, the oil, everything that they got going on out here, you know, people putting their money up. People got their money up in different places. And she really couldn't answer. I wish I could. I know I got it. She really couldn't answer the question. Matter of fact,
yeah, y'all. If it's not FDIC insured, the money's not safe. But it's so funny though. Right?
Go ahead. I'm listening. I'm just searching for
that. They could just say, "Hey, we don't have your money." Ain't that crazy?
We don't have your money.
Like that's crazy. They said there was a long line, people lining up, and they couldn't get their money. Are you serious? But instead, these banks are out here going up buying all the property up, right?
Uh-huh.
How do they don't have your money? They use your money to invest, and they only say, I think 20% got to be available, so they can use your money and invest it and try to make that money. That's how the banks survive.
That's exactly how they survive, and that's just what. Hold on, I'm looking for this clip real quick because I want to play it. I didn't want to put that up here. Let's do this.
Going back to the Angel Reese thing, right? Shout out to Kim Mulkey because she's one of the first coaches to win the national championship in 2 different schools. She did 3 championships at Baylor, came over to LSU in her second year with the transfer portal assistance, and then she won the national championship. Everybody disrespected them all year, said they had a weak non-conference schedule. They had only lost 2 games and was a 3 seed. You had other teams that lost more games than that and was a 1 seed. So they was like, we stayed together. And then the girl, Katari Poole, had played for Ohio State, and they had beat LSU in Kim Mulkey's first year. And then because she played at LSU, she asked Kim Mulkey after that, she was thinking about transferring to LSU. She told Kim Mulkey, I never played in such an environment like that. So she's like, you sure you want to come and just beat us? So then the girl, Katari Poole, was like, hey, what do you think about Reese mentioned getting transferring to LSU? So Katari Poole was the person that linked them together and got her over to LSU because Katari Poole and Reese are friends. And then Kim Mulkey said that she wasn't sure. She's like, are you serious? Sure, we'll love Angel Reese. I don't think that'll happen. She's like, oh, hold on. And boom. They transferred over there. And realistically, they were set up the best to beat Iowa State. And all the commentators were saying the LSU couldn't score, and they put up 102 on Iowa. 102 points was the most points scored in NCAA history on the women's side of a championship.
This show is brought to you by Newater.
All right, I found the thing about the banks real quick.
Okay.
And Queen, where we'll have you looking your best when it's time to impress.
So last night this meme was going on, and I know we're going through a lot of things with this nation right now, and as I started doing my research, I ran across some other information. So I just want you guys just to chime in and just tell me what you feel and what you think. I'm calling Navy Federal right now, and I want to know if all my money is insured.
Will the deposits in every community bank in Oklahoma, regardless of their size, be fully insured now? Are they fully recovered? Every bank, every community bank in Oklahoma, regardless of the size of the deposit, will they get the same treatment that SVB just got or Signature Bank just got?
A bank only gets that treatment if a majority of the FDIC board, a supermajority of the Fed board, and I, in consultation with the president, determine that the failure to protect uninsured depositors would create systemic risk and significant economic and financial consequences.
Now, I don't know. Is it me? Or do it look like our country is being ran by seniors? I mean, our president looked 90. He can't even ride a bike. You see that video there earlier. And now this lady right here, she looked like she about 88. I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I ain't trying to be rude, but it just... Maybe I think we need some fresh blood up in there. Some young meat, some young pause.
What is your plan?
That determination.
Right. So what is your plan to keep large depositors from moving their funds out of community banks into the big banks? We have seen the mergers of banks over the past decade. I'm concerned you're about to accelerate that by encouraging anyone who has a large deposit in a community bank to say, we're not going to make you whole, but if you go to one of our preferred banks, we will make you whole at that point.
Look, I mean, that's certainly not something that we're encouraging.
That is happening right now.
That is happening because depositors are concerned about the bank failures that have happened and whether or not other banks could also
No,
fail.
it's happening
And
because you're
it's-
fully insured no matter what the amount is. If you're in a big bank, you're not fully insured if you're in a community bank.
Well, you're not fully insured, and
You were at Signature, and it just barely met that threshold. You were at Signature.
well, we felt that there was a serious risk of contagion that could have brought down and triggered runs on many banks, and that's something, given that our judgment is that the banking system overall is safe and sound, depositors should have confidence in the system.
So wait a minute.
So I'm sitting there and I'm watching that, right? I'm sitting there and I'm watching that and I'm like, yo, she ain't even answer the questions.
Of course. I mean, when they get put in the corner, man, they just talk around in a circle. And if you went around the circle, you end up in the same place. It's a true statement that you said. When you look at all these people, look at the owners in NFL. Jerry Jones, old and decrepit. So, and they make these ill-advised decisions. She said nothing. He kept asking her, and she said nothing. But she's in a position, right? She's in a position where she's going to be financially rewarded. How does she get that position?
I'm sitting there like I didn't even understand nothing that she said. And I didn't listen to that. I didn't listen to that shit like 20 times.
But what's going to happen because she did that? Nothing. It's going to continue.
Nothing.
She'll
He still ain't getting.
She's still
If
getting
she, that's the treasurer.
right. That's what I'm saying. She don't. It's so funny. If that was a black person, we would have got ridiculed.
Man, they ate him alive. They ate him.
So that goes to the degrees of separation between a white person and a black person. And a white person literally not answering a question, they're not being ridiculed. It goes right to what we saying with Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark do the same thing, did the thing first. Angel Reese does it, and she's ridiculed for it. The example you just showed right now, a white person talked to a white person. She don't answer the question. Nothing's done. The dude Oberman calls her an idiot. Nothing's done. Where's the repercussions for that? Why is he not being taken off of the network or anything
right.
like that?
Right.
You see Kyrie says something, and all of a sudden he lost all his endorsements. He didn't even call nobody no names.
Right.
He supposed to agree to something. That's it. Literally, he called her out of her name on a public platform, and I haven't seen any kind of repercussions for it. Why?
Right. Because we don't stand together and fight for it. So like, what was that on? That was on CBS. So we shouldn't be watching nothing on CBS right now. Done. And clicking on no link. Yeah, I mean, that's just how I think. Yeah, I mean, you got to touch their pockets to make a change. Yeah, I mean, do we want that guy fired and all that stuff? But hold on. I remember when Howard Stern called that dude or whoever he was. It might not have been Howard Stern. It might be Russ, somebody, when he called them nappy head hoes.
Oh, I don't remember that.
Remember, the girls basketball team. He was like,
"Oh yeah. I do remember
call them nappy head hoes or whatever."
I don't recall who said it though. Yeah, I remember.
Was it Rush Limbaugh?
It might have been. I can't recall.
It might have been Rush. Let me see. Yeah, but I remember that had a lot of backlash. So I'm hoping that this. Oh, I'm hoping that this new statement, this idiot statement, has some type of backlash, some form of backlash to it. But we gotta We got to make noise about it. We got to make noise about it, and that's what I feel as though that's what we don't do, man. We don't do. We don't do enough. We march and protest. That's all. That's all we good for. A good
Now,
marching and protest and getting
I
bailed
don't
out of
understand
jail.
any of that though. I don't understand any of that. It's not creating change. Marching and protesting don't do anything.
Right, you
It
put money
gives
right
you,
back in their pocket because you
it
got
gives
bailed
you,
out of jail.
yeah, it gives you an hour or 2 or 3 hours to parade down the street. Is any laws getting changed? Are they not shooting the same black kid again 2 days later? So I don't understand that. You know, they say that retaliation is not the right way to go. But when you really think about it, man, if somebody just shoots your kid
Eye for an eye.
and you just say, hey, well, I'll go to court or whatever. But the reality of it is, in the real world and the Westerns and stuff like that, you shoot me, I shoot you. Like, I don't understand how people's mindset is not made like that. Because if you kill my kid and then their kid get killed, they feeling the same pain I feel. But if they kill my kid and I do nothing, I'm just gonna be the only one in pain.
Right.
And
They
then
still get to hug their kid.
then they go to court, and because their friends are judges and the lawyers,
They get smacked on the wrist. They get a light smack on the wrist.
that's just total disrespect. And all we do is march. We get some, and then they'll pay us off some money, and we go quiet, go ghost. So what is the result of that? Nothing happens. He'll go right back to work. He'll be on paid leave, and then they'll make up some excuse to get him back on the force, and he'll go do the same thing again. Wash and repeat.
That's your favorite line right there. Wash and repeat. That's your
Wash and
favorite line.
repeat, man. Wash and repeat, and systematic failure. Because that's what we're living in. Systematic failure, a system they created that they know is going to be a failure for some people, but they still create it because it's going to be successful for others.
So look. So I just wanted to come on just to touch base about that with the Caitlin and the Angel race. Again, congratulations, LSU. Y'all doing a number thing. Like right now, this should be a big thing. Like that's what I said. You had a big game. It should be a push now because just they crying that the WNBA don't get the support, don't get the pay, don't get the funding. Now you got two big superstars right now, and then maybe this might be good press. Maybe this will get people to watch the WNBA. Maybe they know what they're doing. I mean, I know more people gonna watch LSU or Caitlin. I know that. I mean, they even was what Stephen A. Smith named the what the Steph Curry of women's basketball.
They calling her a generational talent, a person that can't go left and pushes off. A generational talent. Help me out. A generational talent. Push off, can't go left. You can hit jump shots. Okay, that's fine. The game is played for you to be successful because they're not playing tough defense on you. And at the end of the day, they amped her up. What people don't realize is, look at this though. When Angel Reese was at Maryland, right? They beat Iowa 3 times. This ain't new. This ain't new to Angel. She always beats her. So what? They never said anything about that, did they? Never. Because this is the first time Iowa has ever been in the Final Four.
Right.
And when are they gonna get back? Because she was a one-man show, or one-woman show rather, or one-woman show.
Right.
A one-woman show over there. LSU brings in talent. In the talent pool, because Kim Mulkey is there, it's going to be way better than the talent pool in Iowa. So we know that LSU will be back before they'll be back. So it was a story that they wanted to run. It was great coaches in the Final Four. And actually, for the first time in history, the women's tournament cost more than the men's tournament. First time in history.
Now, why is that? How could that cost more?
This is why. I'm going to tell you why. You have Don Staley. You have Kim Mulkey. You have the storyline of Caitlin Clark, right? And then you had another black coach for Virginia Tech. His first time getting to the Final Four. But on the men's side, you had San Diego State, not a great following. You had Florida Atlantic, not a great following. You had Miami, a football school, not a great following. And then you had UConn, the only basketball school that was in the Final Four. That's the reason why.
So nobody wanted to see that. That's what
going forward, we might see that with the transfer portal and things of that nature.
Right.
FAU is returning everybody from their team. So if you have another situation where it's no number one, no number two, and no number three seeds in the Final Four, it's going to be the same thing. Because normally on the women's side, it's status quo. You will get ones and twos. And this year, LSU was a 3, and they won. But normally on the women's side, it's chalk. It's chalk.
Normally on the women's side, it's Connecticut down there. That's what it used to be.
Now that Don Staley came in and resurrected that South Carolina squad, now it's South Carolina.
Mm-hmm.
And Gino crying now. Gino crying because he ain't winning by 50 and can't get no championship. And now with Kim going over to LSU, he got another competitor. So it's going to be tough for him to win now.
Right. So look, that was a little tip. That was a little tidbit for the sports for the day. Y'all want to check us out? Come back and join us on Thursday night. We live 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, 6 p.m. Central Standard Time, and we're gonna be talking. Baseball season is underway. Hopefully they have Lamar contract by then, but I doubt it. I mean, y'all see, I stay in the purple and black. That's what I do. I'm representing right now. Yeah, I mean, I want the brother to get paid. I want him to stand on what he stand on and go ahead and get paid. Yeah, man. So, what else we got? It's about the NBA playoffs right around the corner.
The playing games great start. We have NFL draft coming up at the end of the month, so it's going to be a lot of talk about who is going number one, any kind of trades, and that's going to be real pivotal with the Lamar Jackson situation. Are they going to make a deal before the draft? Are they going to go in and switch quarterbacks? Because they got to know if they don't have Lamar what the backup plan is. So, yeah, all of that stuff is just rampant, and all these things are happening in the world. We just entered the chapter of college basketball championships with LSU winning and UConn winning. Now it's on to the next chapter. Yeah.
Yep.
Baseball is kicked off. Baseball is in the infinite stage, right? They just kicking off, opening up. The Orioles won, so I know.
Shout out to the Orioles. Yeah, shout out to the Orioles. And they won a good game last night too. Had a tight game last night. They beat Texas. They started out hot. They beat Boston the opening day. Then they lost 2. Then they beat Texas. I don't need them to lose 2 more. I need the O's to be strong, finish strong. I got high hopes on them. I got hopes. I got the O's making the playoffs this year, bro.
I mean, y'all did it the right way. Y'all went through y'all farm system in the draft, opposed to trying to acquire players. So I
don't know if they did it the right way because I'm still mad at them. Because at one point in time we had the team, we just didn't have pitching, where we had Machado, Scope, the other guys, Adam Jones, and then we had Weeders behind the plate. We had the best defense up the middle.
But y'all take advantage of the moment because y'all had an opportunity to go to the World Series.
We ended up trading everybody. We traded everybody.
But that's because
they don't want to pay them.
Y'all didn't take advantage of the moment. Y'all didn't get that timely hit that would have sent y'all to the World Series because y'all had paid the money that year, and that dude couldn't get that hit. I remember it like it was yesterday. He couldn't drive in that run, and then they broke it up. Because you already invested all that money, you can't go back in because Orioles not that kind of team.
No, it was the thing. It was time to pay everybody, and they didn't pay. They did the same thing like Lamar Jackson, and everybody found bigger contracts everywhere else, and they left.
But they supposed to win. They supposed to go to the World Series that year when that guy couldn't get a hit. So y'all didn't get that. But see, if y'all don't want the World Series, I think they able to pay a couple guys.
I got another question for you. I want you to think about it. We're gonna talk about it on Thursday night because it's getting late. It's low after 9, right? What talent, what superstar have the Ravens paid and kept? Other than Joe Flacco, who bet on himself. Because we lost Terrell Suggs, like we lost every they other than Ray Lewis. I'm gonna say other than Ray.
Ray Lewis, that's what I was gonna say. Ray Lewis
and Ogden. They're the ones that we kept, but they're not. I don't know, y'all. We gonna talk about that on Thursday, man. I ain't like that. Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about that right now, and it's like, damn, man, like we don't even pay nobody. The Baltimore don't pay nobody. We got that dumbass contract with who was that? Not Barry Bonds. That guy, the guy that we still was paying him. He was out of baseball for 10 years, and he still was on our payroll. Oh man, I don't know. We Baltimore, we gotta do better when it comes to paying our athletes, man. That's what I gotta say.
That's like the Knicks paying Allen Houston all them days, and he was sitting on TV talking. It's the same thing, you know. Same thing.
I can't be mad, brother. Get your money if you got it, because they ain't giving the brothers the money. But
in the NFL, they not.
Right. But all right, Jay, I'ma holler at you. I'ma definitely see you Thursday. Tell the people where they can find you at.
Oh, absolutely. You can find me on YouTube, Journey with Jay. Journey with Jay. The YouTube channel is up. You'll find content on there. And very shortly, we're going to be doing this every Thursday. And eventually, we're going to turn this into a network. You'll see. Patient. Just listen in. We're here to give you the information from us, real and raw, and you're gonna always get it the same way. So see you here next Thursday. I mean this Thursday.
That's 2 days. Yeah. 2 days. So that's what it is, Jay. I will holler at you, talk to you shortly in a little bit. Absolutely. And for everybody, thank y'all for being here with us. It's the Urban Sports Review. Leave your comments, your thoughts, share, like, subscribe to the channel so you know when we go live and all that good stuff like that. And hey man, stay safe, stay proud, man. Think about what we talked about. Figure out something. Give us some insight. Give us some advice or ways that we can uplift and build our community and just get out here and do it all on our own. I mean, that's what I'm gonna say. Love you guys. Stay safe.
I agree. Give us feedback. I mean, we spoke about a lot of things today. You know, just things that we're passionate about on our mind and our heart that we want to speak about. So get feedback. Absolutely. Sign up, you know, like the channel, subscribe, and always be alerted when we have fresh content coming your way.
That's what it is. Y'all know what it is. We keep it popping. See y'all on Thursday. My guys 25 and up in the background. Appreciate y'all for joining me. All right.
Got me spitting while we rolling. Sun shining on our skin, feeling golden. Something about you. All that laughing, girl, you know you in. About your money and you own this shit, yeah. Something about you.